What's up, guys? Mxbvibes here. I just want to say I hope your day is going good. I hope it's been filled with love and positivity, and I genuinely hope things are going your way. If you're new to my channel, welcome or welcome back. I post self-improvement / spirituality content to make you think and to improve your life 1% better each day. I wanted to talk about creative burnout because it seems like everybody is feeling it these days. We've all experienced it at some capacity in our lives, yet haven't found a long-term remedy to deter it. We execute despite discomfort. Just keep producing, right? In this ever-growing, fast, rapid movement type society that we're in, there's a general consensus that if you're not actively being creative and posting content on a daily basis, then you're going to get left behind the curve. You're going to get pushed aside. You're going to get lost in the potential of what could have been. Speed is okay, don't get me wrong, but it takes conscious awareness to know when it's time to take a break. Just look at the influx of content creators on every platform, from sharing recipes, tech reviews, daily podcasts, dancing, video games. I could keep going, but you get my point. Even whatever this is, I'm just joking, but seriously, how do we keep up? It's akin to Navy SEAL training. For those of you who are familiar with Hell Week or David Goggins,
there's only one motherfucking option. Stay fucking hard.
Then you know it's like this extreme physical juggernaut of a challenge that weeds out weaker candidates. They have to fall into freezing water backwards while blindfolded off a 50-foot ledge. Crazy. But it's like if they flail and panic, they could potentially sink and drown. Whereas if they remain calm, their buoyancy will make them float to the surface. And I think creative burnout is very similar to that. The more that you flail, the more that you fight, the stronger it becomes. And you could potentially be overwhelmed and drown. Conversely, if you relax and surrender to the path, the quicker you'll rise back to your natural state. Because man, creativity can be a double-edged sword. Because on one end, it's like, wow, the possibilities that we have in our imagination to be able to create something, it's endless possibilities. But on the other end, there's this inner fear that whatever we create, we might fail or be rejected. More often than not, we tend to work even when we don't feel like it. Because our inner motivation waxes and wanes. Sometimes our energy is low and we don't even feel like getting out of bed. But we're human beings. And I think it's perfectly okay to feel burnt out. So for this video, I want to give you 5 simple steps to help you with creative burnout, even when you don't feel like it. But before I begin, I want to preface and say, I completely understand. I experienced burnout back in August of 2023. I got super overwhelmed. I deleted Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, even Pinterest. My screen time was 9 to 11 hours a day. I was posting reels, videos, photos, quotes every single day, even while at my job. It wasn't until I started to implement these steps I'm about to share with you that I started to fall in love again with creating, this time in a more healthy and consistent way. Tip number 1, which I think is very important and I cannot stress enough, is to make time for yourself. Making time for your hobbies, whether it's music, art, photography, videography, crocheting, but for yourself, rather than for family members, for clients, money, fame, status, whatever the case may be, I think is a great way to balance out that need for a creative progression while also maintaining that labor of love you initially had. Imperative that you set boundaries whenever you're creating, because if we don't take care of ourselves, who will? Lately for me, when I've been feeling like I've been in a rut, I stop whatever project I'm currently working on, I put it down, turn off the devices. I'll go outside in nature. I'll shoot some photos of some birds. I'll go record a video of me and my friends and not post it. And that makes me return to that essence of creativity I once had. So I think you should try it and see how much fun it is to just create content and just keep it to yourself. Step number 2 is to take quality rest. Let me ask you something. What good is working 16 hours a day when you've neglected your health, friends, family, other obligations? As somebody who works full time, I hear this rhetoric, this repetitious rhetoric, and I'm sure you heard it too. Oh man, this is hustle culture. You need to be grinding 24/7. You don't need to stop. I can sleep when I'm dead. I do think there's a time and a place for everything, even to grind while you're on your way to your dreams. Albeit it's foolish and a bit naive to race toward the finish line and not rest. Because we equate more longer hours with more production, more success, more money. That will inevitably lead you to burnout. It just will. Rest is vital for a sharp mind. It's like pushing a reset button in my mind. Tip number 2 is to take rest whenever you can, as long as you can. Tip number 3 is self-shaming. There's sometimes when you're a creative genius, you feel like one and you feel like you're at the top of this mountain. And conversely, there's times when you feel just plain stuck. I know as a creative, as an artist, and sometimes even as entrepreneurs, we like to make being a creative our entire identity. And when that mental roadblock comes, because rest assured it will, we take it deeply personal. And that can wreak havoc on our self-esteem. Because then we go around shaming ourselves, thinking that something must be wrong with us. Nothing is wrong with you. It's natural and it happens. Shaming and negative thinking is only going to hinder the process that much further. I attribute it to like a muscle. It's not that your creativity has evaporated or you're not creative anymore. It's more that your creative muscle has weakened, atrophied, and they need time to grow back stronger. They need time to develop. Take solace in the fact that you won't stay in this phase for long. It's only a period of time. And my advice is to stop shaming yourself and understand that it's part of the process. Tip number 4 is isolation. I'm guilty of this one myself. Whenever I have something big or something important that I want to get done and put out, the tendency is to isolate. We can look in history and see so many great inventors, artists, musicians that go into isolation mode when they are creating something that's in essence bigger than themselves. Whenever you do have feelings of being burnt out, it makes it even worse because you're already isolated. Last tip, tip number 5 is nature. I think going in nature has so many benefits. For me, at least when I'm feeling overworked, overstimulated, burnt out, I go straight in nature. Just go for a walk. I'm not telling you have to go to Yellowstone or Guadalupe Peak or a high mountain, although those do sound nice. And typically I like to go on a 1 to 2 day hike. You can just go to your local neighborhood park and walk on the trail or find trails in your city or town and just kind of go on those to just really decompress, really relax. For me, it's about getting out there and reconnecting with nature and really getting a sense of hope and kind of recharge my creativity in a way. Whether you have headphones or not, sometimes I take my phone, sometimes I leave it at home. Those are the steps, guys. I appreciate you for watching, and I really hope that this message resonated with you because we all experience creative burnout, and hopefully you try this next time you are feeling burnt out.